A quick look at my Magic Chef microwave. Just 3 screws in the back get you in, security screws. A hex with a post in the middle of it. It's got the basic elements. Transformer is the heart of it, of course. But we have switching here. There's 3 different micro switches on this board. And one of them has failed. I've taped it, closed the connection and taped it closed. The little button just doesn't pop out anymore. See, I can make it, shake it out. But it's just dead. Well, I can't get any continuity through this thing. It's normally open, so when the button's pushed it should be closed. It's not closed either way. It's like something just broke inside. So I'll look for one of these switches. I may even have one somewhere. Probably not though. Pretty standard micro switch though. However, I'm pretty sure that this network of 3 switches is still going to give me interlock, even with one of the switches bypassed. So here's the basic elements of the microwave. Line cord comes in, comes to this little filter board, goes through some filtering, then it's back out on this red and white wire. Goes through these switches. This is a little electronic board here. The front electronic board ultimately controls this black switch and the 2 high voltage contacts on this 2 switch. So this is where it does the transition from low voltage to high voltage. This little relay here, and then the high voltage plugs right into the relay, 120 volt, I should say. And then you got these, interlocks and the timer and all that. And then eventually you put power across the transformer here. And when the transformer is powered, you've got the standard high voltage stuff. You got high voltage diode. You've got the oil filled capacitor. And this will all make high voltage. You don't want to get anywhere near this, of course. With the cover off, you don't want to be anywhere near it when it's plugged in. So, because it's high voltage, but it's high voltage at a good current, so it can definitely kill you. So stay away from all of this when the unit's plugged in. Keep the cover on. Shouldn't be playing with this unless you're really experienced with electronics. At any rate, I bypassed the one switch. I'm going to put this panel back in. Kind of interlinks, and then there's a screw that keeps it locked in place. I'll do that and come right back. And there it is, all installed. I think I'll still have interlock. We'll see. It's just not going to be as thoroughly unavoidable with 2 switches, 3 switches instead of just 2 now. And of course, the fan goes on. The little rotating motor for the turntable goes on at the same time that this transformer is energized. So it's all pretty simple wiring. I just had to trace it all down, and then the first switch I went to was the bad one. But I would have checked those 3 switches because there wasn't much else to check. I checked this board, the timer board, and I had to load across. I unplugged this power from it, and I just had a ohmmeter in there with checking to see if the contacts were closing, and it did. At the right times. Try to turn on the control. Gave it 2 minutes. The controls turned on for 2 minutes. So that was all working. Just the micro switch blew out. And this unit has a pretty nice thermal switch in it. A thermal control. It's like a resettable, full-fledged thermal switch instead of a thermal fuse like I've seen in some. I've got a L.E.D microwave, real old one, that kept dying on me because the little thermal fuses were falling apart. It's like 3 thermal fuses in the thing that are bypassed now. And they just fell apart basically with age. Whereas something like this is going to stay together. It's actually pretty good quality the way the thing was built, even if the micro switch failed. But that's what's in a microwave oven. Well, bypassing that switch only results in a blown fuse in the back panel. It doesn't blow until you open the door. So I had it all closed, and I turned it on, ran it for a while, it all worked. As soon as I popped the door open, the fuse blew. And this is the bad switch. I ordered these for like $7 for the whole bag of them here. 10 of them. And I also paid almost as much for a single switch that's more like this switch in that it doesn't have that extra contact. These, I'll just leave the contact or cover it with tape or something. I believe they probably make them without a contact just for safety reasons, so that contact's not out there in manufacturing. It could be timing though, angle per click. So I do have that switch coming that, only has the one terminal. It's probably a waste of money, but paid almost as much for that one switch as I did for this whole bag of others. Actually, I paid like $1 more for, I paid like $8 for this bag, and I paid like $6 for that other switch. So this is an eBay deal, of course. They got it here really quickly. Free 4-day shipping. They got it here in like 2.5 days. That's kind of amazing. Not fast enough because I miss my microwave. It's how a batch cooks. So yeah, they're the standard size. Should clip right in. It's probably possible to slip that switch in this panel and click it in, but it's a lot easier just to, without removing this, but it's a lot easier just to remove this one screw and slide the plastic piece out, and then you can see what you're doing. The whole thing comes loose, the door falls open, and then you can slide that switch in wherever it went. It went in at an odd angle, right here, right where it wants to go. Gonna jam it in there and it clicks right in. Make sure the little clicker is free. I think it is. There it is. There she clicks. It's all the way in. There's some dust left in there. Try to get some of that dust out with a Q-tip or something. Okay, I reassembled that, tightened the one screw back up. Hopefully everything's slotted in right. And now I got to replace the fuse. Unit's unplugged, of course. So originally it was a ceramic fuse, and you can see it blows up quite violently. That's the danger. It could break the glass if it blows up too violently. 15 amp fuse. Okay, it beeped as I plugged it in. It normally does. Don't have the turntable in, but this water off to the side. Get the kitty out of the way. "11 seconds. Yeah, she's working. Now if I can open it up without the fuse blowing, I know it's fixed. It's kind of interesting the way they do those 3 switches for the interlock. And it didn't blow, so we're good. No blow. And the water's a tiny bit warmer, so we're all good. Put the cover on and put it back on the counter. Success! I'm so tired of eating sandwiches and other stuff I don't need the microwave for. Using the oven when it's hot outside. It's very nice to have this unit going again. Just for the heck of it.